Shalom Aleichem Rabbosai. We are in the week of Chanukah, and this is the Parsha of Mikeitz. Mikeitz has to come out on Chanukah. Otherwise, Chanukah is the wrong time, or Mikeitz is the wrong Sedra, because it always must come out on Chanukah. Mikeitz. Not Mikeitz. Mikeitz has to come out on Chanukah. Why is that? Because it has to be. It just has to be. Like the fifth night of Chanukah can never, ever be Shabbos. That's why people give Chanukah geld on the fifth night, because it can never be Shabbos. Anyhow, why is Mikeitz have to be Chanukah? Because in the Parsha of Mikeitz, Pharaoh has a Chanukah dream, where the skinny and the weak swallow up the fat and the healthy. It's exactly what happened with Hashem helped the Chashmonaim. They defeated the Greek army. Rabbi ba'ad matim, the many into the hands of the few. So Pharaoh had that dream of the skinny swallowing the fat. This is the week of Chanukah. It's not yet the first night of Chanukah, which will be Tuesday night. That will be the first light, but it's almost getting to Tuesday night. This is Sunday, and maybe when you see it, it'll be Monday night. So Tuesday night is the first night of Chanukah. The 20th of December is the 25th of Kislev. Now, why must Chanukah come out in Mikeitz? So some smart people out there will say, I remember when it wasn't Mikeitz. You're right. 4 times in 84 years. 19 out of 20 times it will happen. It'll be on Mikeitz. 1 out of 20, it will not. It's about 80-90% of the time it comes out of Mikeitz. If it doesn't come out of Mikeitz, then Mikeitz ends, Motzi Shabbos, the next second is Chanukah. Or the other way around. The Friday ends, Chanukah ends, and then we have Mikeitz. So it's in the week of Mikeitz, or it's immediately after, or immediately before. It's in the week of Mikeitz. Why is that? Because at the end of Mikeitz is the only Sedra in the Torah. The only Sedra in the Torah where at the end is written how many words are in the Parsha Mikeitz. 2025. All the other Sedras, they have how many Pesukim. The Gaonim wrote that way before Rashi. How many Pesukim must be in every Parashah. But they never wrote about words. Only Mikeitz wrote 2025. You know why? Because the minimum amount to you do the mitzvah is 1 nair every night. Just 1. 1 nair every night. If you're a poor man, 1 nair every night, you're Yosef the mitzvah. It's not Hidur, it's not Mahadrim, and Mahadrim, but it's 1 nair every night. First night 1, and second night 1, and third night 1, and every night 1. Now nair, and then Nun Reish is 250. And 8 times 250 is 2,000. And it starts on the 25th of the month. There you go, 2025. And in about 5 days from now, I'm going to have Shir number 2025 on Kol HaLashon. Yeah, go to Kol HaLashon. It's going to be 2025, and I passed a few weeks ago the 2000 mark. Anyhow, so Mikeitz has to be it has 2025 words, because the 8 light snare is 2000. It starts on the Chanukah, the holiday of lights, which is 1 every night minimum. 8 times nair is 250. 8 times 250 is 250 times 8 is 2000 plus 25. Number 2, I told you, Pharaoh had a Chanukah-like dream, where the weak cows, skinny cows eat up the fat cows. Same thing would happen in the time of the Greeks. The weak defeated the many. Rabbi ma'atim tmeim b'at tehorim v'sholim b'at tzadikim v'zeidim b'at oskei sorsechem. Now let's learn the Parsha of Mikeitz. If you want to know the 36 questions and answers of Chanukah, go to last week's video on Torah Anytime, and the week before that. Now we're going to learn Mikeitz. Vayhi Mikeitz shnosayim yomim. Yosef was harassed by Potiphar's wife, tried to trump up some charges that were never true, and when the Baal Boss came home, Potiphar's husband, obviously he didn't believe his wife, because it says he was very furious, not at Yosef, at his wife, for many reasons, 6 reasons. she know she was lying. So he got very angry and had to make her feel good, so he put him in jail. Where did he give him? A promotion. Not in the Sar HaTabachim, where they slaughter people, the butcher house. He was a butcher for the meat, and he also executed people. That's the death row part of this Beis HaSohar. The Beis HaSohar is white-collar criminals, government officials who messed up. Beis HaSohar. Sohar, Samach, Hey, Reish. Put the Hey in the front. Hasar. Change the Samach to a sin. Hasar, where the ministers are locked up. And part of the Beis HaSohar was the Sar HaTabachim, the Potiphar. That was the death row. And these four people, the Sar HaMashkim and the Sar HaOfim, and the Mashkim and the Ofet were in prison. And Yosef said, one of you will live, one of you will die. Okay, so 2 years later, Vahimication of Chaim Yomim was after 2 years. Now, anyone who knows Hebrew, why you have to say Shnosayim Yomim? Shnosayim means 2 years. Chodshayim means 2 months. Yomayim means 2 days. Shvu'ayim means 2 weeks. Why do you say Shnosayim Yomim? Shona, Shnosayim. Answer is, it was exactly 2 years to the day of Pharaoh's birthday party when he hung the Sar Ofim and the Sar Mashkim survived. So Pharaoh has a dream now. Let's take a look at this Chanukah dream. The communication of Chaim Yomim was after 10 and 2 years, because it was 12 years altogether. Yosef was sold when he was 17, and 12 years later is 29. He becomes a melech in the next day or two. By Pharaoh Cholem, Pharaoh was dreaming. Chalom is a dream. Chalon is a window. A window is an opening to another atmosphere. A chalom is a dream, an opening into another world. Chalom. Anyhow, he had it. Chalom, Cholem, Vihine, Omada Ya'ar. He's standing by the Nile River. Ya'ar. Why isn't it called Nachal, or Nahar? The river's called Nachal or Nahar. What's this Ya'ar? Ditch. Because everybody in Mitzrayim dug ditches. The Nile's 1,000 miles long, you know. The 3 longest rivers in the world is the Amazon, the Mississippi, and the Nile. All about 1,000 miles. All the people dug ditches throughout the whole country. It went down 1,000 miles. And when the river overflowed once, every 2 weeks, every month, it flooded all the ditches. Now, how they got irrigated, there was no rain in Egypt. So it's called the Ya'ar, the ditch river. Also was the most powerful force in Egypt. They worshipped it. Ya'ar, Yud Aleph Resh. A most powerful thing is Aleph Resh Yud. Just the same letters turned around. Ari, a lion. This is the most powerful force in Egypt. V'hine min ha'yar olos, and from the Ya'ar is coming up. Sheva Poros, 7 cows, Yevos Mara, very good looking. Obrios Basra, healthy flesh, and not emaciated at all. But you end up when they were pasturing along the swamp at the end. And 7 cows, other ones were coming up after them. Min hayar, from the river, rose, mara, bad looking. Uvdakus basar, very thin flesh. And they stood, they stood next to the fat cows, al sfas hayar, by the edge of the river. And they ate up haporas rose, the bad cows, skinny cows, ate up the fat cows. Hamara, a roast mara, it looked very bad. Dakus basar, very thin flesh. A sheva haporas yifos mara. Those are very good looking cows, heavy, fat cows, but have rios and they're healthy. The Yikat's father and father woke up. Now, first of all, Rabbi said, cows don't eat meat. Yikat's father and Pharaoh, of course, don't eat meat. That's a nevuah he's getting from Hashem. Vayikas with 2 yuds. Hashem wanted him to wake up and then go to sleep again. Vayishan, he slept again. Another yud, 2 yuds. God made him fall asleep again. Vayachalom, and he dreamt he shamed this a second time. Hine Sheva Shibolim, 7 ears of grain. Olos B'Kono Echo coming up on 1 stalk. Brios V'Tov was healthy, big fat corn kernels, whatever they were. Hine Sheva Shibolim Dakos. Then the 7, and also 7 stalks. Dakos is very thin. Mishtufas caught him beat by the east wind. A nor'easter is the most brutal wind. Kodim is the east wind. Somchos coming up after them. The Tivlano Hashibolam Dakos, and the skinny stalks ate them up, the fat ones. Hashem Hashibolim. Yikat Sfara, he woke up again with 2 yuds. Hashem make him wake up. And thank goodness. It's only a dream. You have that feeling sometimes? Terrible thing you dream, and also Baruch Hashem was only a dream. But something bothered the man. By the way, these cows, the fat cows came into the stomach of the skinny cows, and there was no change in the skinny cows. The skinny stalks ate up the fat stalks. There was no change. Nothing got bigger. He was in the morning, but he was very bothered. Po'am is a bell. It banged in his spirit. It was banging. This was a funny dream. It bothered him. So Rashi brings, there was another place in Daniel Bays, where the Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and it says, Vatis Po'am, the same word, but with extra tough. Here it says, Vati Po'am. And there it is, Vatis, 2 toughs. Vatis Po'am. He was extremely disturbed of Nebuchadnezzar in the Sefer Daniel. You know why? Because here Pharaoh knew the dream, but he didn't know the explanation. But in Daniel Bay, Nebuchadnezzar forgot the dream. Of course, the explanation. He forgot the dream. And it bothered him. He had some experience that night that was horrendous. He wanted to know what it was, and Daniel told him what he dreamt. He sent and he called Khartoumei Mitzrayim, all the mystics of Mitzrayim, that's called Hakamehon, all the wise men, the scientists. And he told him his dream. No one could explain it to Paro. They could explain it with nothing to do with Paro. They said you're going to have 7 daughters, you're going to bury 7 daughters. Yeah, but what does that have to do with Paro, a king of a country? That's all personal stuff. What does that have to do with his being a monarch of the most powerful country in the world? What does the dream have to do with his monarchy? And the Sar Hamashkim, the one that Yosef had in the prison with him, they told him you're going to live. My things, I remember today. Today, exactly 2 years ago, I was in prison, and Pharaoh cuts off Al Avodah, and Pharaoh was very angry. Al Avodah, his servants, and he put me in jail with the other guy. He put me in the jail. Sar Hamashkim, based Sar HaTabochim into the butcher house. That's death row. Osi Sar HaOfim, and also the Sar HaOfim. All the white collar workers who did a little crime. Okay, you go to the base HaSohar. That is where the Sar, Sohar, Ha-Sar, the prince, a little bit government stuff, and Yosef was put in there too. What did he do? He fooled around with someone's wife. They say that in government is not a big deal. You see it's every day in the world today. That's not a serious crime. But the baker and the butcher, Rashi says over there last week, they wanted to kill Pharaoh. One put a poison insect in his wine to kill him, and one put a sharp glass or potsherd in his cake so it cut his throat when he eats it. They wanted to kill Pharaoh and marry his daughter. They attempted murder, so they go to the section of the Beis HaSohar, which is under the Sarat Tabochim, the butcher man. I mean, that's the death row part. Trying to kill the king, that's different than white collar crime, Pharaoh got angry at his servant, Yitin Osi, B'mishmar, put me in the jail, Beis Sarat Tabochim, under the prince of butchery. I mean, he cut up all Pharaoh's food, but he also executed people. Osi Besar for me and the baker. We had a dream one night, both of us. Anivahu, me and him. Everyone dreamt our dream and the answer of the other fellow. The explanation of the dream, but it was for the other fellow. We had our dream, but his explanation. And there was with us a lad, Ivri, a Hebrew, Eved, a slave. The Sar HaTabochim worked for the Sar HaTabochim, the butcher, the executioner. We told him, and he explained it to us as Chalam Hoseinu. He interpreted the dream. Everyone came out exactly the way we dreamed. Now Rashi says, this cursed fellow, Yosef told him twice, remember me. He didn't. until this point, 2 years later. Since Yosef was relying on a human being, he was punished 2 more years. He was only supposed to be in jail for 10 years because he spoke against 10 brothers, Lashon Hara. Yosef said, and last week said in Pasuk Yudalin, Ki'im zichartani, if you remember me. His kartani, you should let him remember me. Twice, so he spent 2 years. You have to be mishtadel. The best you can. Why you blame him? Why do you blame Yaakov for putting Dinah in a box? You got to protect him. Yaakov put Dinah in the box so that Russia shouldn't look at her. Should he take a chance that Dinah will make him a Baal Tshuva? Yaakov figured he's so rotten, he's so far gone, no way can she'll only get ruined if they ever meet. So he decided not to do it. Well, the Torah doesn't seem that was a good choice, because hiding him from Esav, Dinah from Esav, right after that she was attacked by another guy, Shem. And same thing here, he says, Nar Ivri Evet, how wicked are these people, Rashi said. Arurim Harishoyim, how wicked are these Rishoyim. He's talking about the Sarah Mashkim. She'ein Tovosam Shlemo, they have no appreciation. Shemaskiro Beloshen Bizoyim. He mentions Yosef in a Bizoyim. Nar means Shota, fool. A fool. Nar is 320 and Shota is 320. Ainbo Roy Legdula, he's not fit for godless. Every mean he's uneducated, doesn't even know Egyptian. Lashonenu Einamaki, doesn't know our language, means he's not cultured. And Eved, he's not high class, he's low class. He's a hick from the other side of the tracks. That's what he's saying, not the Pharaoh, but he said it. Nar Ivri Eved. First of all, he's a shaitan, because he knows that Yosef is highly brilliant, because he interpreted his dream perfectly, came out right. And exactly what he said, Pharaoh did. One got killed, one didn't. So Ivri, he knew that he's on the other side of the world. Other side of the river means everybody has different values, but he has different values. And Eved, he was sold as a slave. What do you want from him? Anyhow, I got to tell Pharaoh that the man told us something and it worked. Where he explained it, that's the way it happened. Me, they put me back on my stand of being the butler, as he said it would be. But also Tolom, the other one got hung, just like Yosef predicted. Yishlach Pharaoh, Yaakov says, after me to stole him. Yishlach Pharaoh sent, Yikres Yosef, they called Yosef. What do you mean? They don't know where he is? What do you mean? What do you mean you called Yosef? You went and say, this is the kid, the king wants to see you, come on. Vayikra says to Mefarshim, Pharaoh doesn't talk to slaves. First they read him a star of pardon. He was completely pardoned and free. Now he's a free man, the king can talk to him. Yikra Yosef, read Suhu Minabar. They pulled him out of the bar because the bar is down below. They didn't shave him, he shaved himself. Because he knows this is the moment he's waiting for all his life. This is the moment he's waiting for. He's 29 years old. Because he became a king at 29. And he told you he was sold at 17. And 12 years is 29. Now he becomes a king. He shaved himself. He changed his clothes. The Yovel Party came to Pharaoh. We're up to Shani. Simlosov is missing a vav. Why? Pharaoh sent him clothes to put on, have a meeting with the king. But Yosef never walked around without tzitzis, aberkanfas. And tzitzis is 600. And the mitzvah cotton of 600 is 6 vav. That's missing here. Simlosov doesn't have a vav. Means he didn't wear the tzitzis because to annoy Pharaoh this grand moment that he was being, he knew he was going to be a melech, no question. Navi, knew it. So, this he didn't put on. Not mechuyev. Because if you're not mechuyev to wear tzitzis, if you don't have a 4-cornered garment on you, so you left the 4-cornered garment off, you're not mechuyev. If it's on you, you got to wear tzitzit. If it's not on you, don't wear tzitzit. And he went to Pharaoh. Now, what day of the year was that? In a moment, he listened to Yosef, listened to him, told him the dream, boom, 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 boom. They had the whole thing. The next morning, they had a meeting in Pharaoh with all the people, and he said, I think you're the wisest man in the country. I think you ought to be king. I'll supervise you from the distance. You run the whole country. Bingo. From one day to the next, you become melech of the most powerful country on earth. What day that was that when you just see where everything changes, a keher of ayin, in a flash of an eye? You know when your life changes, when this Hashem paskin for you, life or death? One day a year, Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Chodesh Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah. If you take the word Vayichalef Simlo Sov with a Vav properly written, you get to 927. The Echad B'Tishrei, you get also 927. You also get to 927. 927 is the same as Vayachalof Simlo Sov, 927. And changing garment on Rosh Hashanah. Because Echad B'Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah, first day of Tishrei. That's Yom Adin. And Yeshua Hashem Keher Bayim. The salvation of God is in a flash of an eye. Mashiach too will be like that, in a flash. All of a sudden he's here. Paro cuts up, and we're finished up to Shemi. And Paro cuts up, and Paro got angry. Rabbi Chia bar Abba, the Gemara says Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Rabbi Yochanan. God makes a boss angry at his employee, Lasos Ratzon Tzadik, to do something for a Tzadik. Which means, Manu, who's the Tzadik Yosef? He says, Paro Hikotzav Alavodim. Paro got very angry with his servants, the Mashke and the Ofen. And one hung and one didn't hang. Why is this? To catapult Yosef into being Malchus. He makes one person get angry at the other one, a big person, for his servants, in order to do the Ratzon Tzadik, to do the will of the Tzadik. All manipulated for Yosef. On both sides, the entire world is manipulated for Yisrael. Think about it. That's right. Because he made the whole Bria at the end, he made man. And then after thousands of years, he picked a special type of man. The purpose of the creation was man. And the end of the and Israel is the highest form of man. Adam Kruyim Adam. You're called ideal man. Now any guy can join us through galas. Proper galas, not baloney, not false. You know, the real thing, Api Halacha. Then you're 100% one of us. But once you check in, you can't check out. You can never get out. You can do every Aveira in the book. You can wear the longest cross. You're a Yid. You're going to die as a Yid. You'll never get out of being a Yid. It's impossible to see the truth and not see the truth. It's impossible. Once you're in, you're in. Now, Rabbi said, last few minutes, let's talk about Chanukah. On Tuesday night will be the first night of Chanukah. How is it possible on Chanukah to say the bracha, Neiros Halalu? Neiros is plural. Only have one. And how can you do in the second night of Chanukah the Halif Ner when there's two? A lot of these questions are on last week's Shir and the week before that. The Halif Ner on the second night, third night, fourth night, fifth night, sixth night. Ner one. So we told you the answers. All you need is one if you're very poor. You're Yosef. And the Neiros Halol, every single Jew in the first night, they're lighting one light, millions of one lights. And Neiros Halol are not only. Another question. That's the Gemara, only one place where Chanukah is mentioned. In Shabbos Chav Aleph Amud Beis, Chav Beis Amud Aleph. Chav Beis, Amud Aleph in Shabbos. It says, what's my Chanukah? Not Mazeh, what is? Why did we serve Chanukah? Was it because of the Parshas Shemen that we found enough oil for one light to burn for 8? Or is it because of the marvelous victory over the Greeks? So our father, the Rabbi Beis Sheva, says, every night of the week we light one light for the Parshas Shemen. The first night for the Parshas Shemen, and the second night for the Parshas Shemen, and the 8th night one, the first one Parshas Shemen. All the others is for the Milchama. because we have no mitzvah to stand around on a Chanukah with the uniform, with a sword. And no, we're commemorating that they found the Pach Hashemen in the Beis HaMikdash floors. So why don't we talk about do something to commemorate the victory, military victory? You know, in Chav Beis, Omen Aleph, and Shabbos, it talks only about the Pach Hashemen. So why in Al Hanisim, when we light this, there's not a mention of Pach Hashemen? Aneres Halol, there's not a word about it. And Al Hanisim and Shemona Esrei and Al Hanisim and Benching, not a word about Pach Hashemen. Because there's two Nisim going on. Well, we don't have to popularize the light. Just put it in the window. That's popularization. Who's going to talk about the military victory, which was phenomenal? Rabim at Matim. Bidborim Yad Chaloshim. Who's going to talk about that? That's every night of Chanukah. The first one is the Pach Hashemen. The second one, this one is the Pach Hashemen, not this one. This one over here, that will be the Pach Hashemen, not these. The last night, that will be the Pach Hashemen. All the other 7 is about the Milchama. That's why you need so many lights, because you're Yosef with 1. Hidur Mitzvah, you can have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's Hidur, in order to popularize the fact that there was this fantastic military victory. One more thing. You make 3 brachas the first night. Hadik Me'ah Shel Chanukah, that's Birchas HaMitzvah. Sh'osa Nisam Sha'yanu, that's Birchas HaShevach. That's why if you have no menorah, and you're buying a boat, it says in the Shulchan Aruch, and you see a house on the first night of Chanukah, you're not home, you have no menorah, or you're somewhere in a situation in life where you cannot light a menorah, but you know it's Chanukah, and you see someone lighting a menorah, even if you never lit it, you have to say Sh'osa Nisam on the first night, and Shechyan. The second night you only make 1 bracha, because you're not lighting, you're seeing it. It's called Bichas HaReach, HaRo'eh, the bracha of the seer. You have to make a bracha every night on Sh'osa Nisam, and the first night on Shechyan. All the person that lights it makes Hadik Ner and Sh'osa Nisam and Shechyan, but the second night he only makes 2 brachas. Hadik Ner and Sh'osa Nisam. Now, is it the Hadik Ner Shel Chanukah, or the Hadik Ner Chanukah, or the Hadik Ner Shel Chanukah? Yeah, what's the problem? Rabbi, it's not a little thing. The Hadik Ner Shel Shabbos, because that's the light of Shabbos. Without that, it'll be dark in the house. You must have light on Shabbos. And if you have electric light, if you don't have candles or oil, you can turn it off, and then you turn it on, and you make a bracha, Hadik Ner Shel Shabbos, like you're doing over your hospital bed. You turn it on, then turn it off first, then turn it on, make a bracha. And Shabbos idea is supposed to be light. Chanukah is supposed to be oil and fire, like it was in the Beis HaMikdash. Like the Greeks contaminated the menorah, and therefore now we have the menorah. That's why it's got to be dafka oil. I know people light with candles, very nice, nothing wrong. Hidur mitzvah is oil, because that's how it was in the menorah. When you're very poor and you can't afford candles, oil, use candles, very nice. But Baruch Hashem, the last 50 years, B'nai Torah use oil the way it was originally. How much does it cost? Not so much as a pizza for one pizza for a family. It's much better to use oil, because that's Hidur mitzvah. You're 100% Yosef with wax. But this is more Hidur. Let's say L'hadik Ner Shel Shabbos. So that's for Shabbos. L'hadik Ner Shel Chanukah. It's not of Chanukah, because without lighting any menorah, it's still Chanukah. Or L'hadik Ner Chanukah. L'hadik Ner, that's the only mitzvah we have in Chanukah. That's why some hold L'hadik Ner Chanukah. That is Chanukah. It's called Chanukah, right? There is no other mitzvah on Chanukah. Eating blintzes and all that, no mitzvah. No, there's no musaf, there's nothing. No sud on Chanukah. L'hadik Ner Chanukah. That is the Chanukah. Others hold no, L'hadik Ner Shel Chanukah is part of Chanukah. Without the lights, you also have a Chanukah. You can't fast, you can't do a eulogy, and you can't do a hesped, you don't say Tachanun. There's a lot of things about Chanukah that you can't do. It's either Hadik Ner Shel Chanukah, but it's not the whole Chanukah. There's certain things that are also doing Chanukah, all kind of the things you leave out, and Hesped you can't make. So that's therefore the Chanukah light is the Hadik Ner Shel Chanukah. It's without that it's still Chanukah. Shel Shabbos means that's all there is to Shabbos. No, Shabbos needs light, otherwise it's dark, and you won't have any light in the house. You fall over the chairs. Therefore, you need light. It doesn't have to be oil; it could be electric. But on Chanukah, Lahadik Ner Chanukah, that's the only mitzvah on Chanukah, or Lahadik Ner Shel Chanukah. You went out the menorah, so Chanukah can't have a eulogy, can't have a husband, except Chacham Befanav, a big Gadol Hador. If he's right there, you can do it. That's the exception. But to make a combination between the two, some people say Lahadik Ner Shel Chanukah. Shel Chanukah. Okay, that's whatever you meaning is you do. Okay, Rabbi, so we're finished for tonight, and we hope you have a lichtige Chanukah, a Chanukah Me'ira, a very lichtige Chanukah, means very light, and light represents Torah. This light represents Torah Shabbal Peh, the oral law. This is what the Jews have to get involved in. Torah Shabbal Peh. The Goyim have the Bible, we have the Torah Shabbal Peh. That's the real Torah. The Gemara and the Midrashim. This you can't touch. Light, that's oral law, that's non-tangible. That's the real Torah. Torah Shabbal Peh. That's why it's not good to learn the Bible. That's for them. We have Rashi and Tosas and thousands of other things on Gemara. Okay? Rabbi, have a good Chanukah.